the Sleeves of America, and today we are doing a massive 4v4 sub-commanders battle on Napoleon Total War. And in this one, it is going to be the Austrians, which is the team I am on, versus the Russians. And I am taking the forces of the line infantry. So if you didn't see our previous video on sub-commanders or Oakley's on his channel, basically it's when each army takes a portion of the forces to command. And since this is a 4v4, we have two forces taking over control of the line infantry. One force taking command of both artillery and lights, so that you wouldn't have too much of either. And then we have a force taking control of all cavalry on both sides. And the other side is set up pretty much the same. And for the line infantry, they can go between grenadiers, line infantry guards, or militia, and the lights can take rifles or regular lights or anything like that. Artillery are limited to 3 howitzers, 3-horse artillery, and 3-foot artillery. And then I don't think certain teams, like the Russians, have horse artillery, so they were allowed to take 3 extra foot artillery. And I don't think the Austrians have them either, so that fixed that in this battle. So right now we have all set up our forces. There's always a brief period in the beginning where we distribute forces so that, you know, one side doesn't get dominated. Like if your lights are all alone right after you spawn, they don't get just cav charged. So I've skipped past that, and each force has distributed their armies. So as you can see, the artillery battle has started a little bit. Mainly just the long range foot artillery firing at each other. The howitzers aren't in range yet until the infantry pushes up. And we're gonna fast forward just a little bit so we can get up to where each side starts to advance on each other. And way over here we have mainly line infantry facing off with some cav supporting, although the Russians did throw some lights over here, but our side doesn't have any lights. And I think this is a mistake from both sides, just having basically straight line infantry facing each other, because they're not really going to fight each other. Mainly the fighting's going to be wherever the lights are, because that's where the lights advance. They'll push the limits of the battle lines. So I'm going to pause the recording here, and we'll get back to you when the forces have advanced. Alright, so we're back, and both the Austrian and Russian forces are advancing on each other. My team, I don't remember who's playing which force, and I honestly don't remember who's on each team. I remember Cody's on the other team, and I'm on this team with Forge, Dom, and I don't remember who else. It was honestly a lot of random people, I think. But on our team, we've got our howitzers limbered up, and we're advancing them with our forces because they have short range. And the Russians seem to be doing a preliminary attack. No, they changed their mind on that. Right, we're trying to keep our cav pretty far back so that the enemy artillery doesn't snipe them out. And then I have my regular line infantry and, I guess, higher tier line infantry more in reserve so I can use them later. And then I'm planning on advancing with my landwehr to take initial shots. And it is going to be laggy. It's a massive battle, and I'm not playing on a very good computer. But you can see the artillery battle is still going on, just kind of peppering each other up right now while each side advances. And it seems like we're going to have our first confrontation over this road. The bad thing is my teammate isn't advancing his lights with my line. And it takes a lot of cooperation to get attacks or retreats going well on this game mode, because every single commander needs to work in tangent with the other. We are getting our howitzers to fire before they are, though. I think they might be using unicorns or something. Yeah, because the Russians don't have howitzers. Ooh, they did some friendly fire there. They just drilled their own cav. Ooh, they just did it again. Bet the cav player for the Russians is probably freaking out right now. I'm pretty impressed by these double landings on this Russian light unit, though. So we have a ton of outgoing fire right now, landing on the Russians. And their cav's just getting drilled. I'm okay with that. It looks like our light infantry force is starting to push up. They're taking some fire, though, while they advance. You can see a few dropping, not too many. They're pretty spread out. And now I have my militia advancing. It looks like they didn't take too many losses, mainly because the Russian Jaegers suck and because I was kind of dipped into this road before I came over. So we're mainly going to focus on this side for now. The other side's going to be quiet for the majority of the battle. I have fired my first shots now with my militia. More howitzers incoming. Getting some good hits. I'm not sure what their unicorns are up to. Oh, now they're firing. These lights over here are just getting drilled. trying to target our artillery. That's the thing though, they're trying to fire at our artillery. I think I was telling our teammates to fire at the enemy cav and stuff, enemy forces. Because the artillery, once you don't have anything covering the artillery, you really can't do anything. Especially if you get cav into it. So right now we have a massive Russian cav charge going on. They're getting really chopped up though, and I got my line in the back is going to also open fire. So see, if we had not been working well together there, we would have lost a lot more lights. We're trying to get one. Yeah, you can see my cav players pushed up behind me to help charge. Right now I'm just letting my militia do some damage because I really don't need to throw anything else into the fight. Our Austrian cav player is doing a counterattack with his cav, charging into the Russian lights. And you can see the Russian line wasn't well into position, so we're going to get a lot more damage done than they are. And they're going to countercharge, so that's going to do damage to their lights. So now the Russian line is pushed up and is engaging my landwehr. I'm getting some stray shots onto their cav though, because they're right behind them. And now I'm going to push up my line, and my teammate's going to push up his cav. So we're going to kind of start our attack here. And while that's all going on, these guys are still just counter-attacking each other with cav, trying to wear down each other's lights. And the thing is, since they have their lights that they push way over here, yeah, here and stuff, that means they have less lights committed to this fight. See, that's why it looks like we have a lot more lights, and they're way more bunched up, so we can put on a lot more damage than they can. So my militia pretty much just got destroyed, and my teammate's cav is slowing him down so I can reform my lines, but the Russian cav is coming in after me. I'm trying to get in more line, my teammate's bringing in more cav, but right now it looks like we're going to be overrun. Right now the attack isn't looking so good. They have a lot more cav over here than we do, but I have a lot more line that I'm pushing up to support. And now my squares are getting just mowed down. So my front line attack isn't going so well. That line's going to rout pretty early, and I haven't done enough damage really. These guys are walking. That's not good enough. Alright, so these guys finally get to fire. I don't think I actually get a lot of kills this battle. I mean, I might be wrong. It was a long time ago I played this. I don't actually remember how this goes at all. They seem to be doing a Russian charge with grenadiers, which isn't a bad idea. But here comes a mass of Austrian artillery. We also have a light engagement starting in the center. We do have some rifles though, and the Russians don't. And here comes the massive charge. So there goes the grenadier assault, just like that. The Russians are going to return the favor and start coming back to charge, recharge these cav. And I decided to charge in this line to support the cavalry. While that's going on, I'm supporting up with more line, and I'm moving over my reserve line forces to get over here. Right now though, it's just a huge mosh pit, and both sides are friendly firing with artillery just to see if they can kill more. So there's both a mix of Austrian infantry, Austrian cav, Russian cav, and they're all just butchering each other right now. Look, that guy's just getting stabbed. Right now the Russians don't have a lot over here line infantry wise, and I've got a whole lot coming in. And they have nothing nearby to support this, so if we break them here, we can push right on through. Right now though, their grenadiers are holding out. And my men are routing, as well as with some Austrian cavalry. So we're not winning that. We did a lot of damage though, and our artillery should be targeting here. That do a ton of damage to them. Over here, it's mainly lights and cav that have been engaging, and the line's just been kind of sitting back and supporting. Although their expensive Semenovsky lifeguards have been taking a ton of stray fire and artillery. So they've reformed their lines, but they're really thin. My lines are very healthy. I think their grenadiers are trying to throw grenades at me. Oh, they're just standing there and firing. I'm pulling back because I don't want to get engaged right now. Oh, and here comes the charge. No. This guy doesn't know what to do with his grenadiers. And he's going to fall back. Ooh, that was a good hit with the howitzer. I think what's doing us really well here is that we got our howitzers set up a lot earlier than they did, and so we're doing a lot more damage to their forces early on. Although it looks like they're targeting my infantry with their artillery in the back there. I'm throwing up some more landwehr, and here comes a massive cav charge. I need to get my squares though, and I think I should start running up. Yeah, I'm gonna start running up these guys to shoot the cav when they charge. Here comes those grenadiers again. So the whole time this is going on, these lights are just butchering each other. I do have line behind them, which are taking stray shots, which really sucks for me. Over here, I think we just wanted our teammate to keep falling back because we were winning over there, so he's just going to keep curving back. And while it's all going on, our rifles and stuff are still picking each other off in the center. Like I said, over here is just where the main battle's going on. The houses are just putting on some punching fire. The Russians are going for a last-ditch effort charge, and my militia are routing. I think that might have been friendly fire. And then I've got my line back here supporting. This line might not survive that much longer. Oh my gosh, they just took a huge artillery shot, and they're getting charged by Gav. Yep, that line's so done. So my front line just completely crumbled. I actually didn't think that was going to work. I wonder if I get a square with these guys. They're just advancing on their own right now. Form a square. Form a square. I did not form a square. That's bad. That's a good unit too. I did form a square with the next unit over though. So actually looks like we're both just killing each other off over here, so we'll probably have to move over some more line. It looks like my teammate, the line infantry player on the far left, is sending over some guys. And our cav actually has a huge reserve that could be on the Russian flank shortly if they keep advancing. So we're winning the light fight, and we seem to be winning this side. They're doing a mass charge. I'm getting my line in formation though. Ooh, we're about to get a nice volley here. Oh, that's brutal. And we're let's get a nice volley here. Maybe. Maybe not. Probably not. And they're still pushing over here, but the Austrian cav came in and cleaned them up. They did a ton of damage. Yeah, that's not cool. This unit pretty much just got wasted. They're down to 65. Over here I have another line unit caught out of position that's getting chased down by the cav. So after all that, it's finally cleaned up over here, and it looks like we can push through because they're out of troops. And they've actually, it seems to have been a result on all sides, so they're sending over more lines. But they've been kind of mowed down over here, and our cav's just sweeping up what's left. Oh, we have some friendly fire though. So I'm advancing up my lines now. The Russians are still somehow alive in melee over here. Oh, it's a Semenovsky lifeboat, that's why. Alright, so now it's a full advance. My teammate's still sitting in line infantry, because if I lose these forces, then our flank attack fails and they can counterattack us. And because that's going on, they probably want to put on more pressure over here since they are losing on the other side. That was really an accurate cannon shot. They need to advance their artillery too. Look at this, they have a unicorn back here that's just advancing. They need to get all these, oh, they do have force artillery, okay. They need to get these forces pushed up. And we seem to have won the light fight in the center as well. They just have really thin units holding us off. Oh yeah, this one's, I remember this, I think. It was a really harsh attack because these cannons can use their canister. And it's really smart what they're doing here is they're putting the line in between their cannons so that when we advance and have to attack their line, their canister can support them. They also have a lot of generals over here, so their morale is going to be okay. But their cav seems to be completely gone, other than this really small one. So it seems like their counterattack over here that pushed through ended up costing them the rest of their cav on this flank. And yeah, looks like lights are running out of ammo, so our guys are going to be charging in. And over here, this is good. We're using our lights to pick off these cannons. Oh wait, no, they're limbered up though, so it's not going to kill anybody, which is a really annoying glitch. While they're moving their cannons, I thought I should probably get up here before he can get the canister turned on. And over here, the Russians are pushing to try and break one flank at least, so they can stem the tide of our advance on the left. their left, our right. So here we are now, I'm attacking. A charge would be good, but my guys are winded. These cannons are out of position though, so this is a great time to attack. It's pulling back these ones as well. So now we have a full assault. The Russians are doing their charges. Except the thing is, the Austrians are actually better in melee, so now against this army it wouldn't be the best time to be doing Russian charges. They have a lot more forces though, so they're outflanking us. Our reserves, yeah, they should probably be getting over to this flank. And our line tree that we're coming over here, just taking their sweet time. Over here, there's Russian cav charged. I formed a square. I'm still firing at these Russians. I don't think they have firewall on, maybe. That or they're out of ammo. Nope, now they're firing. Alright, back to this main engagement. It looks like these Russians... Oh my gosh, that's good. These Russians seem to have taken some pretty heavy casualties. I don't know where, but they seem really thin. Maybe from artillery fire or something. I mean, their attack is really sloppy, and they're just kind of melee charging everywhere, but they have the numbers to do it, and if their cav was charging in here, it would be a lot more effective than if they're just their infantry is charging. Here they are, they're sending a lifeguard into melee. That'll definitely sweep up these Austrian troops. Oh, so much 3 grenades. Over here. Over here, we're still advancing. There's this one Russian light holding up some of our forces. These my guys. My guys over here. And we are starting to break through. Oh, this is probably Cody doing this lame tactic. I bet it is, where he just stands there with this cav and doesn't limber them because he wants them to take the shots. I bet Cody was playing artillery. He is. Yeah, that has to be Cody. He always does that. So I'm sweeping up this infantry. His tactic isn't working because I'm just direct targeting these units. I mean, it might be working for the lights, though. That's what it does seem to be working that way. We'd have some friendly fire as well with artillery. Over here, the Russians are beating back on our corner here, but their main attack on the front completely failed. And now they just have a huge hole. Actually, if you let's look at the map. Yeah, they have a lot of holes in their lines. You can see their strongest points are their flanks, and their centers are completely open. Now it looks like we're gonna have a huge cavalry battle, maybe. Austrians are trying to retreat, though. I don't know, they should have taken that. Oh, never mind. It's some really heavy cavalry. I think they could have swarmed them, though. So the Russian lifeguards are still attacking the corner. That's a good spot. If they just keep pounding there, they'll split the forces in two. Over here, I charged in on these cannons. And I keep charging with my units that are out of ammo. I think I might have... I'm not sure, I thought there was a cannon there. Oh no, here it is. So I'm counter-charging these Moscow musketeers. And we're slowly breaking through these guys. I wish my light commander had pushed up over here so I could get my line in a range, but he was, I guess, microing elsewhere. And over here, the tide has turned. We have a straight line now instead of that bend. So even if they break through here, it's not going to be very much effective. Very effective. Okay, sorry, it's still early. They are winning though. Look at that. They're punching holes all over. I think it's mainly because our line infantry commander over here is really thick lines. He should be spread out. And our cavalry commander is not supporting him at all. At this point, his line is over here, but he's not microing them or pushing them up.
Our men are running, sir.
And now it's just a full attack over here to try and clean up these Russians. It's working over here, their attack. They're breaking through. We have a lot of forces on this side, but they're breaking through and outflanking us over here. Our cavalry commander shouldn't be so bunched up. He should probably, if he was spread out all along this line, I guess, then he could be doing charges anywhere. And this guy wouldn't be able to out-micro him. We do have some Pavlovsk grenadiers over here with these amazing uniforms, fighting off against the Austrian forces. And and they are deciding to do a charge. Which would be better than fighting in a shootout, because you're going to do some small units. Oh, they just took a pretty nasty volley last minute. Looks like our artillery commander is turning around the cannons to face the flanking Russians. And over here we're just kind of encircling this final stand, which is taking a long time to clean up, actually. I do have my line firing in on them, though. And I'm about to get outflanked here if I keep pushing up like that. Come on. Don't get outflanked. There we go. So we do have lights just kind of all over the place, and this I'm just assuming it's because he's microing all over here. We do have two. This is as far as my line. Actually, wait. Yeah, this is as far as my line goes. Is these last two units over here. So that's the last of my forces over here in those two units. And now I'm just in a complete melee fight with most of my units. Our allies are still sending in artillery, but we've cleaned it up now. And there's a general running around. So there goes that flank. Over here, the Austrians are falling apart. The Austrian Cavs finally decided to support. I think it's a little too late though, because these Austrian lines are about to collapse. And they just took insane casualties here. They must have, yeah, they had lifeguards firing in on them. That's probably why they did so much damage. This is a good spot to have them though, firing in on this corner. So the Austrians are winning on the one flank that they had more troops on, but I think they're going to lose it long term because these lifeguards are just mowing them down. And then over here we have lights that are going to charge these cannons, I guess. My lines are finally all cleaned up. I'm just kind of advancing in the general direction of where the Russians are. And I actually have a decent amount of units left. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So I have 9 units including my general. So actually I took some heavy losses, but I did come out with quite a few units still. Over here the Russian Cav is going after artillery.
Sir, our general is under attack.
Apparently my general is under attack. Well, I also have these 2 units, so I have all that plus 2. So 9, 10, 11, I have 11 units. And the Russians seem to be winning in this fight. They have a general that just died here, though. That was from Shia LaBeouf. Wow, I can't. The Russians actually won that fight. I guess the general, when he died, just caused the Russian cav to mass rout. So the Russians, if they'd probably kept their general out of there and maybe just rallied their cav, they could have won that. But there goes that huge cav fight that took place on the flank of all these infantry. So it was like no infantry were involved in this fight because all the cav just butchered each other. Now we're getting some friendly fire over here with this extremely healthy light unit just firing in the back. Blackfire Forge just lost his general. Oh, he lost it charging into a square on this right flank. And then we also killed Mr. Electric's general over here by our artillery. He seemed to be charging some Austrian artillery. So looking at the map, it's a complete wave of Austrians, and we just kind of have to clean up this fight or this last stand of Russians out here. So you can see it's an Austrian victory, but it was definitely costly on most flanks. The center, usually in subcommanders, is always pretty calm, as it was in this battle, or it's just lights picking each other off, and then it's always the flanks that have these pretty crazy fights to see who can push the other side back. And on this flank, we could have done a lot better. Like I said, if the cavalry commander and the line infantry commander had just worked a lot better. And same goes for the Russians. I think their line infantry commander over here just had a pretty sloppy attack. Ooh, we're getting canistered over here. That sucks. This is my line infantry just standing here getting canistered. I think I'm pretty sure Cody's the one doing artillery, so he's just mowing me down right now. I'm just trying to shoot him down though, because I don't want to get any closer. Some Austrian lights did previously charge here though. The canister. Alright, so there's that. I'm completely surrounding this cannon. Just want to kill as fast as possible. Over here, I did get 2 of my lines up here to fight these flanking Russians. So these 2 are mine. The rest are the other line infantry player. He's brought his lines back from that flank. Over here, I just surrounded that Russian artillery and killed them. You can see they did a lot of damage with the canister, though. So I'm pretty much on artillery cleanup duty. And now I think these guys run out of ammo, so I'm charging them in. Austrian Cav's getting these guys in scores with the other line infantry commander can fire at them. And is that my general? No. Someone's general is being chased by some Russian Cav in the back here. Oh, here's my general. He's over here. I brought Joseph Alvinci. Over here, I'm doing another charge. Actually, I think might be the Allied commander. Or my, I'm not sure. Anyway, getting canistered over here, so that's awesome. I'm fighting this one stray unit. Where I mean, the Russians are just kind of all over at this point. We're just cleaning them up. Austrian Cav's coming over. Let's see the canister is trying to take me out. Here comes some Russian general. Oh, I don't think I got a square. Nope. I think I was microing over there. That sucks. It just flattened that unit too. Look at that. Look how many kills he just got. That's the Czech regiment too. Oh, I just took some insane canister. Okay, my unit's just kind of getting butchered over here. Cleaned up that unit though. Over here, all the Russians are gone, so it's just this little final area that's absolutely wrecking my units. Look at this general, he just went off. And in the basic Napoleon game, you can't turn your cannons 360, so I was coming in from the rear. But his general is just mowing me down. I mean, seriously. Absolutely mowing me down. This is the Czech regiment too. One of the best units the Austrians can even get, and they got slaughtered. Here comes the Austrian Cav, though, taking him out. Whose general was that? Oh, that's Black Hawk's strategy. So Black Hawk was the one who just butchered me there. So it's Black Hawk and Cody on this team. And there you go, that's the Russian forces completely gone, and that's what's left of the battlefield. I'm just trying to swarm that cannon because I was pissed off. So there you go, I actually got slightly more kills than deaths. You can tell this is the Cav commander, I'm assuming, because he has a pretty small... Actually, it's the, Ghost. So Ghost was artillery, and Blackfire Forge went as the cavalry, and then Dom went as the other infantry force. That's why he has so many high kills. You can usually tell by the size of the force. Sheila Booth seemed to have gone artillery. Cody went... Oh, no, Cody went artillery and lights. Sheila Booth went artillery, I'm assuming. And then these two, Blackhawk and Mr. Electric, went as line infantry. And you can see all of their kills were actually pretty low other than Blackhawk's strategy. And my best unit was the Czech regiment, which are actually the guys who got flattened by the Cav over here. And they ended up doing the best somehow. So anyway, thanks for watching, guys. I hope you liked the battle, and maybe we can do some more sub-commanders, and I'll see you in the next one.